Right there.
Electrician.
This is Peter. Recently, he got help going on the internet for the first time to look for a new job.
Okay, then you just hit search and...
In the past, Peter's gotten work through people he knew, but he heard there were more jobs online.
There we go.
These are all for me?
Uh-huh.
Really?
He had no idea just how many.
I can't believe it. This one looks good.
Peter is thinking the internet might be for him after all.
And this is just one website.
Wow. Why didn't I do this sooner?
See what the internet can help you do at everyoneon.org or call 1-855-387-9166 to find a free training class near you. Brought to you by Connect to Compete and the Ad Council.
What you hear isn't just any beat, it's the actual heartbeat of a child in need. This is Ryan Tedder from One Republic. The beat of our new song, Feel Again, was created with heartbeats of children in need. Find out how it can help frontline health workers save millions of children at everybeatmatters.org.
Brought to you by Save the Children and the Ad Council.
Talk 1470, WWNN Pompano Beach, WKIS HD3, Boca Raton, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
AM 1470, WNN, with more of what you need to know. Don't miss the ED Hour with Lawrence Y. Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays at 10, and Saturdays at 5 on AM 1470, WNN. Attention men and women over the age of 18. If you are dealing with urinary frequency, urgency, and leakage, you may qualify for a research study. If you have had overactive bladder symptoms for at least 6 months, call the office of Dr. Matthew Leaf at 954-755-3801. Once again, if you have urinary urgency, frequency, or leakage, and embarrassing trips to the bathroom, you may qualify for a research study. Participants will receive study-related care and investigational medication or inactive placebo at no cost. Compensation for time and travel may be provided. If you are interested, call the office of Dr. Matthew Leaf at 954-755-3801. Once again, that number is 954-755-3801.
This is Talk 1470. Talk 1470. WNN.
When it comes to getting the word out about your business, radio is second to none. Here you are listening to talk radio right now. Imagine if the message you heard was about your business and why customers should choose you over your competitor. Isn't that what you need to help get to or stay at the top? Right now, right here on this Beasley Broadcast Group station, there are rare opportunities for you to do just that. Learn how you can be on the radio doing your own show about your business. And get those phones ringing. Call 561-997-0074. That's 561-997-0074. Take that small step to big prosperity. Now, call 561-997-0074. The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of the station, its staff, management, or sponsors. Welcome to the Golf and Travel Show, the place to fine-tune your swing, dress for the course, club, or cruise, and get tips on the best places to play and stay at the right price. Vacation or staycation, host Dan Shub, along with his expert co-hosts and guests, will tell you where to go. To play golf and vacation, that is. Now, here's Dan.
And welcome to the Golf and Travel Show. I'm your host, Dan Shube. And tonight, like every other Friday night at this time, we're going to be talking a little bit of golf and a little bit of travel. And we do have a great show in store for you tonight. We got a bunch of very cool guests. Many, maybe more than we know or less than we know, because sometimes we even get some surprises when it comes to guests, so we'll have to see. But I'm sure of a few of them. For instance, we're going to be talking in just a little bit to Laura Hummel, who is the manager of sales for Voyages to Antiquity. Sounds like they're going like back in time or something. I don't know, but we're going to find out a little bit about that. And also we're going to be talking to Eddie Cauldron, who is the director of sales for the Courtyard by Marriott right in West Palm Beach near the airport, which is a really cool place to stay if you're doing any traveling and need a place to stash your car. So we're going to find out a little bit more about that from Eddie. And first things first, though, what I always like to do is let everybody know who I'm sitting here with and introduce you to my wonderful co-hosts. And first of all, we've got... Wait, I'm waiting for the cue. There we go. Got to make sure that she's in the studio before I introduce her, and that would be Jerry Augustine. And Jerry brings to us over 25 years of experience in the service and hospitality industry. She's currently the president and owner of Sea Dreams Travel, which is located in Jupiter. And at Sea Dreams, she's that concierge who can create the perfect vacation for you and for your family. And Sea Dreams has a staff which is extremely knowledgeable. They've traveled the world, and her tagline, "Your World, Your Way," is exactly what Sea Dreams is all about. And when you listen to the Golf and Travel Show, and you listen to Jerry, she proves every week to you how booking travel yourself is not your best or easiest route. How you doing today, Jerry?
I'm doing great, Dan. Thank you. Ahoy, everyone.
And we'll be hearing from Jerry a lot more later on during the show, and there she goes, but she'll be back. And also, sitting here right to my right is, with that beautiful swing, my co-host Jess Frank, who is a PGA teaching professional and owner of the Jess Frank Golf Academy, which is located at the lovely Boca Dunes Golf and Country Club, just up the road right here in sunny Boca Raton. And I actually saw the sun today for a minute, so that's really nice. And Jess specializes in on-course instruction with V1 video analysis, and he believes that every lesson in swing is different. He must have seen mine, that's how he knows that. Just likes to focus on the scoring part of your game, the short shots that are taught on the golf course, and that instills plenty of confidence. You might know him from his work at some of the area country clubs, such as St. Andrews, Boca Laga, and Broken Sound. And Jess loves to teach golf, has a passion for the game, because golf is a tough sport. It's a challenge, but Jess makes it easy for you to learn and to excel. How you doing tonight?
Excellent, Dan. Thank you so much. Good evening, Jerry, and good evening to everyone listening tonight.
It's, as I said, that it's, unfortunately, our dry season has become a bit of a rainy season. I'm sure that's a little bit of a challenge for you to try and get out there and teach your pupils out there.
This weather, this week has been a crazy week of weather. I mean, Tuesday it was like 40, 50 degrees out, and, not as bad as our friends in the north, but it still was put a damper on the golf game. And then, of course, all the rain that we have gotten. And we were fortunate enough over at Boca Dunes where we were one of the only golf courses open because of all the rain. So we had a lot of play today.
Yeah, I was going to say that every shot is wet in this weather pretty much. But the good news is the greens are holding.
Yes, they are. They're soft, and you can fire at the flag, right?
That's right. I'm sure your students have the ability to do that.
They were actually this morning in a playing lesson that I was giving, shockingly enough, that there was this lady who I've been teaching. She's a new golfer, and she actually was making ball marks on the green. I said, we're experiencing success here because, number one, you're hitting the ball on the green in the direction that you're aiming, and number two, you're hitting it high enough where there is, the ball's coming down and making a pitch mark on the green. I thought that was pretty impressive.
She'll be backing it up.
Yeah, she was definitely improving very nicely today, so that was a lot of fun.
But the other good news is that our listeners could be in the comfort of their own home and learning from you.
Oh yes, they are. Enough time where they're going to get a few tips here if they've listened to us every Friday night. Definitely get some good pearls of wisdom. And tonight, I'd like to talk a little bit about what holds on to the club, which is your grip in your hands. Okay. How to put your hands on the club.
So you're going to tell everybody to get a grip.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's. What I've found is that no matter what level player you are, from the beginner golfer all the way up to the tour player, people just don't spend enough time on getting used to the grip and understanding why the grip is important. And since it's the only part of your body that holds onto the club, I think you'd want to spend some time really making sure that it's precise and comfortable. And yes, as Jerry's rehearsing the grip, and we'll definitely have to work on that.
Varden grip I see right over there. But let me say something. I have to admit that when I started playing golf many, many years ago, I don't want to say how many years ago, but I did not have the benefit of a lesson. And I immediately adapted a baseball grip, which is probably one of the least effective ones. Although I've made it my own, I've gotten used to it, and I'm okay with it. But I know that that's not the best. And a good golf grip to the average person feels foreign and uncomfortable.
Sure.
And I think the key is to learn it from a professional and then practice it so that it becomes your grip and it becomes comfortable. Because I wish I could go back now. But it's difficult. Once you've been doing something for many, many, many years, it's hard to change. And I wish that I had done it the right way from the very beginning.
Yeah, and the grip directly relates to the club face of the club. So, and again, everybody's hands are obviously, their fingers are different sizes, the palms are different thicknesses and different sizes and different hands and everything. But, when you hold on to the golf club, it's very important to realize that when to get the blade square at the bottom where it counts through impact, you have to have your hands on correctly. And so even Ben Hogan, the great Ben Hogan, who we've talked about a few times on the show, spent 19 pages of his golf book, the famous 5 lessons that he wrote, just on the grip and talking about how he holds the club in each hand, the grip pressure, each finger that applies the pressure onto the handle of the club. And so it's really important that you spend time. But the grip is unique to each player too, because there are tour players who play with extremely strong grips, like a Zach Johnson. Mm-hmm. But
explain what you mean by a strong grip.
Strong grip for a right-hand player. A strong grip would be taking their left hand on the club and turning it, I guess, clockwise, and seeing 2 or 3 knuckles of their left hand. And then what happens is that almost if they're looking down at their left hand, if they have a really strong grip, they see the top of their hand. And so, which is actually better for most amateur players to have a stronger grip, because that allows them to release the club a little bit better and create more angles in their swing with hinging and lever systems. So a stronger grip for most amateurs out there, most higher handicappers, if you're struggling with a shot that's leaking to the right,
which
slice,
is common.
Yeah, which is common in 90% of all golfers. So strengthening your grip would definitely help you close the club face and make a little more solid contact.
And when you talk about strengthening your grip, the novice might think that it's holding the club tighter or stronger, and I have to admit that when I was young, I also had that flaw in my swing. I used to wear a glove on both hands because I was getting blisters on both hands because I had that death grip, which I know is not good, and I've improved that as well over time.
There's a pretty good golfer out there that wears 2 golf gloves, and he's won a couple tour events.
That's
Tommy Gainey. So he's, that's but grip pressure is crucial as well, because you don't want to squeeze the club. You don't want to have the death grip on the club where there's you can't actually release and rotate, and basically what happens, there's too much tension in your forearms. And so what happens when you squeeze the club really tight, what happens is that club face will stay open for a long time. Now, if you're fighting a hook, now I would do the opposite. I would squeeze the club a little tighter, because that keeps the club face open, and I'd weaken your grip a little bit. But that just depends on your ball flight, and we always work ball flight back to club face, back to the swing plane, the shaft plane, and then to your body and how your body moves. So, there's like I said, there's a lot of golfers out there who have made a success out of really strong grips, like Freddie Couples and Zach Johnson and Lee Trevino and Paul Azinger. But there's a lot of people that a lot of players that have had weaker grips, not weaker grips, more neutral grips, like Ben Hogan changed to a neutral grip, and Jack Nicklaus and David Toms and KJ Choi. And there's, it's like I said, it really only matters how the club face returns and impact. So if you play with a strong grip, it's okay. And I'm not a big proponent of changing grips because to get used to another grip is very difficult.
Right, so minor changes or improvements, but not total
tweaks,
makeovers.
Yeah, exactly. Tweaks are good. And there are different kinds of grips. Like you said, you played with a 10-finger grip, which there are tour players who play with 10-finger grips, which actually helps you release the club and maybe even get you a little more power. So that's something that is unique to each individual golfer. But to put your hands on the club correctly, if you are going to see a PGA golf professional, a PGA teaching professional, they will work on that and work on it a lot, because even at the highest levels, you'll see the guys holding the club by their left leg, if they're a right-hand golfer, in their left hand, just really kind of feeling the club. And so one of the things I like to say is make sure you get the club in the fingers of your left hand with the heel pad of your left hand sitting on top of the shaft, on top of the club. So that's and then the three fingers, your bottom three fingers, apply a little more pressure. And then what you see is that if you look at the top of your hand, you're going to see three knuckles of your left hand going to your right shoulder, and also the V of your left hand also going to your right shoulder. So that's going to give you the best ability to square the club face through impact and hit solid shots and avoid the dreaded slice to the right.
And there you go. So that's your free tip from our PGA teaching pro, Jess Frank, for this week. And we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with more of the Golf and Travel Show in just a minute. And we are back. And speaking about being on the back of the range, I know you spend a lot of your time at the back of a range. Why don't you tell everybody about where you spend your time?
I was at the back of the range teaching golf today, which is really nice. Beautiful day at the beautiful Boca Dunes Golf and Country Club, one of the best kept secrets in South Palm Beach. They offer a championship par 72 course, a challenge for all skill levels, and a par 3 executive course for those who want to get in a quick round or are new to the game. Ladies, if you are new to the game or would like to get started, they're offering another ladies' night out. January 15th, 3:30 to 6:30 p.m., only $30, gets you a 1-hour group lesson, 1 hour playing on the executive course, and 1 hour of drinks and hors d'oeuvres. There will be raffles and prizes as well. If you're already a golfer, it's a good way to get pointers and meet new people. Call 561-451-1600, extension 101, to reserve your spot. And with the only lighted driving range in Boca Raton, you can come out and practice till 10 p.m. daily. Come see for yourself what a great course this is, located at 1400 Country Club Drive in Boca Raton, or check out their website at bocadunes.com. To book your tee time or get additional information, call 561-451-1600, extension 101.
Very cool. Well, we've got a couple more things we want to talk about before we bring on our first guest, which will be just in a few minutes, and that'll be Laura Hummel of Voyages to Antiquity. And I wanted to talk a little bit about a event that I attended last night. I was fortunate to go to a little sneak preview of a place that's called iClub Piano Bar. It is located at PGA National Resort, which, lucky for me, is across the street from where I spend my days at my office. And I love going over there to play golf. They've got 5 beautiful golf courses. They've invested about $100 million in the past year or two renovating the golf courses, renovating all the rooms, renovating a lot of the common areas, the lobby. And this is a part of the iBar. And their restaurant in there, they kind of sectioned off this little new area, and they turned it into a very, very cool piano bar. And I have to tell you that the vibe in there is just very, very cool. They had some great entertainment last night, and every Thursday night, a woman by the name of Dawn Marie Basham is going to be singing there, and she had a great piano player playing with her, doing a lot of your typical American songbook kind of stuff, a little bit of Billy Joel thrown in, your typical Piano Man kind of music, and it was just a very, very cool place to hang out. And obviously the Honda Classic is coming up soon, and I know, Jess, you've been there for that, and it's crowded, and when you're there for the Honda Classic, you get to hang out with all the players who are also all hanging out there. So when it's not the Honda Classic, it's just the regular folks, the amateur players hanging out there. Right. But it's still just a very, very cool place, and you meet a lot of nice people. I was sitting at the piano bar, right up against the piano. Met one of the locals who happens to live in PGA National, and loves to play golf there, loves to listen to golf talk shows like ours, and I had a great conversation with this guy. All the time, of course, I was drinking a very, very cool drink. They've got a special Moet and Chandon like champagne bar going on. And they're mixing up very cool drinks, things like a Kir Royale and a Bellini, or the Ultimate Sidecar. And on top of that, they had some very interesting hors d'oeuvres, things like carpaccio and jumbo shrimp cocktail martini and crab cake or shoestring truffle fries. I mean, you don't get that everywhere.
It's a very creative menu.
It is a very creative menu. So I was fortunate to get to see this little sneak preview, and I really enjoyed it. But the actual grand opening, for anybody listening tonight, not on Sunday, because then it'll be too late, is tomorrow, Saturday. Mm-hmm. And what they're going to be doing is they have an event that they're calling Party Gras. So, I mean, we've all heard of Mardi Gras, yeah. But this is called Party Gras, and they actually have a 20-person marching band that is going to be marching throughout the resort, and anybody who attends is going to get on board on this little parade, and it's a progressive dinner. They're going to be making stops throughout the resort at different places to get food that's going to be Cajun-inspired, like a Mardi Gras might be, and all of it's then going to then lead back, I suppose, to the finale, which is going to be a little party in this new setting in the iClub Piano Bar. So, excuse me, I'm all choked up. Yeah. It was on Saturday night. I guess Coffee Talk, we say I'm all verklempt. But it's very, very cool. So if you want to find out a little bit more information, they will be selling tickets to the event at the door. I believe it's $95 all inclusive for the event. And to buy tickets for the event for Party Gras, you could go to partygras.eventbrite.com. Or you could give them a call at 561-627-2000. Or, of course, if you would like just more information about this new venue, they have a special website set up called iClubPianoBar.com, and you can find out a little bit more information about it. And like I say, it's just a fun place. So if you're in the northern Palm Beach area, and you're looking for a night out where you can kind of sit and chill and talk to people in a wonderful setting, I do recommend it.
Yeah, the iClub is definitely one of the neat things about PGA National, and also the fact that they do host the Honda Classic, and is they have the Bear Trap there, and one of the toughest golf courses out there on tour, and sometimes plays like a major championship golf course. And what I also love about the fact of what they do through the Honda Classic is they support youth golf and junior golf, and that's the buzzword now through the PGA of America, which in fact we're going to be at the PGA show next week, or 2 weeks now.
A week and a half about.
So
we've only been waiting all year for this, right?
It's my first.
Yeah, Jerry's going to have a first.
We have a PGA version right here.
That's right. That's right. Jerry's going to be, I think, I'm pretty amazed at what goes on at this show. It's all new equipment and manufacturers and teaching aids and everything and anything. Golf travel, anything and everything. We'll be up there. Jerry and I are also part of a women's golf and travel
wait, how did you get into a women's
it's
the only male.
Yeah, I'm the only male. I guess I was included. I'm a since I am a PGA teaching professional and I do women's clinics, I guess that qualifies me as knowing about women's golf and travel. But there's also couples travel and things like that. So, but what I want to really get into is the fact of youth golf and the future of golf, and something I'm very passionate about, and seeing the youngsters get into the game at a very early age. And there's a product called Whirly Golf that's also going to be at the show, which is a neat, fun game. And also the fact of U.S. Kids Golf, which is
I'm familiar with them from when they first started.
Yep.
I did some work with them,
and they're based out of Atlanta. They'll be at the show, and that's something that is near and dear to my heart because of the fact that they fit clubs to kids and not the other way around. Because it used to be when we got our parents' clubs and they cut it down and the shafts are way too stiff and the grips are way too big
and disproportionate to the size of the club.
Exactly. So and club fitting plays a major part in junior golf, and that's why I think junior golf or youth golf has expanded now, and also the fact that the PGA Professional has really taken a hold and promoted youth golf and tried to turn it into more like every other sport, whether it be soccer, football, youth football, youth baseball. So and like I said, is that club fitting is something that's very important. And what the U.S. Kids company does is they fit for the grip and the shaft, the length of the shaft, the flexibility in the shaft, and also the head in itself is really unique to and fits, and weight-wise and gram weight-wise is so important for kids to pick up the game, whether it be they created a really neat driver, even a white driver, and a white hybrid and fairway wood, and the irons and the wedges and the putter and the bag. And so it's really easy for kids to get a whole set of clubs that fit them so they can go out and play. And I have some friends that their kids just progressed to the next Tour Series 60 level, which the Tour Series has metal shafts in it. So for better, stronger youth golfers, this is something that will definitely help their game.
Well, when I originally introduced you about 25 minutes ago, we spoke about golf being a challenging game. And when you take a young kid and you put an adult or a cut-down golf club that is not appropriate, what you're doing is making it much more difficult for that kid to play well.
Sure.
And if a kid for the first time is going to go out there and try the game and do really badly at it because he's not fit with appropriate equipment, you're going to turn the kid off. He's not going to want to play anymore.
No, absolutely. And that's something you have to be very, very careful for. And I was fortunate enough where I could just walk across the street and go play golf where I grew up in Mount Prospect. And so I could keep working on it over and over again. And that's not the case with a lot of people. There's the parents have to drive the kids to the course, and it takes time to get there, and it takes money. And if the child doesn't like it, then the parents aren't going to spend the money to keep them going. So
and we'll lose a whole generation. If you want the game of golf to grow, you constantly have to bring in the young people to replace the older people that retire from the game.
No, absolutely, and that's something that was missed out for a long time. And now, over the past at least 10 years, 13 years that I know of since 2000. Definitely it's been a focus of the U.S. Kids Golf Company to make this a priority, and you can see it even in the junior golf tournaments. U.S. Kids Golf has junior golf tournaments, and it's a great way for them to get competitive and learn the game and learn the etiquette, learn the rules, and progress and make it a game for a lifetime. Because in the beginning, that's when you learn all the shots. Is when you're on the golf course as a junior golfer, you could feel it in your hands, you could feel the ground, with your feet. So it really, and you're not thinking about too much. As we get older, we start to put all these negative thoughts in our minds.
Wait, let me think for a second. Is it easier to hit the ball when you're little because you're closer to it?
That's a good point. I might have to think about that. But even for adults, and club fitting is so important with the size of the grip and the length of the shaft, the flexibility in the shaft, and the lofts on the clubs. Whether you're going to have a player's iron if you're a little lower handicap player, or mid-game improvement or super game improvement. The fact of it is that if you fit the clubs to your golf swing, not the other way around, you're going to have a lot more success.
So you and I, we're going to be looking at golf balls and golf clubs, and Jerry, you're looking for, I know that there's a couple of Clothes, fashion. You're only as good as you look. I know that I told you that there was a party for Scotland. There's a party for Australia, and you're looking for some new shoes, huh?
Absolutely.
I noticed. I saw a press release from Justin, the company that makes boots. They're introducing a line of shoes for the first time for golf, including cowboy boots for the golf course.
Well, I think boots. We had a guest on from Anchorage, Alaska, that we could probably use those boots for. But
anybody that's playing out in the rain.
But Jerry, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised with all the beautiful women's golf clothing there. Oh my gosh, you'll see it all from polo to Birdie and Grace, and there's actually a golf company that I was fortunate enough to meet the owners of, this little company called Golf Teeny.